I'll call the special meeting of the Newport Beach City Council for September 18th, 2009 to order. Can we have the roll call, please?
The record will reflect that council members Henn and Webb are absent, excused absences.
Okay, the council is going to adjourn into closed session, and for those of you that are wondering, we have a new device installed on the council chambers. It's a little smokestack, and when you see the white smoke come out, you'll know that we've reached a decision. So we're going to adjourn to closed session. Okay, we'll call the meeting of the City Council back to order. Do we have a closed session report from the City Attorney?
Mr. Mayor, pursuant to the agenda, the Council met in closed session to discuss appointment of a public employee. No reportable action was taken.
Okay. We have one item on our agenda this evening. Can you explain what that is?
You have before you the appointment of the successor city manager to Homer Bludow, approval of the contract, and authorization of the mayor to sign, and approval of the resolution making that appointment.
Okay. Well, at this time, it's my pleasure to announce that the City Council has selected Dave Kiff as the new city manager. It's a good thing we didn't pick the other guy. You know, Dave didn't get this job because he was the presumed heir apparent. Dave went through a very rigorous test, if you will. We searched nationwide for the best possible person to fill the position. Although we all have a lot of respect for Dave on the City Council, he was not the automatic person to get this job. He had to prove himself. There were something like 50 well-qualified applicants. We narrowed it down to 7 very well-qualified applicants. And then there were 3 finalists, and at each step, Dave had to prove himself. He did that. This council wholeheartedly supports Dave as our new city manager. He's got a lot of energy. He's got a lot of ideas. I believe that he will be the man to lead the city and this organization into the future. A lot of new directions, a lot of ideas, a lot of energy. Doesn't say anything negative about Homer or any of the other previous city managers. It's just that it's each time you get a new city manager, I think you look to move an organization forward in a new direction. And we believe that Dave is the man to do that, and we're here to help him be a success, and I hope that all of you will do that also. And I think some of my other colleagues would like to say a few words. Mayor Pro Tem Curry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You know, David had a difficult row to hoe in this process because he had to articulate a vision for the city and articulate his own vision for the city. At the same time, sort of represent the continuity of what's great about Newport Beach, and he did it splendidly through the interviews. I think no one had a more coherent vision for what our city can become, for how it can be managed, for how it can be improved, yet who also understood and respected the things that make our city great and have made our city great over the years. So I could not be more proud of the process or how David went through the process, because he really did rise to the occasion and won on the merits and demonstrated the vision that I talked about. And I think it's going to be exciting to see him move into the other chair and exert his leadership in our community, and I think we're all going to be much better for it.
Councilman Rosansky.
can't shut me up that easily. I've known Dave, I guess, for 5-6 years now, and I can honestly say that anything that Dave has touched has turned to gold. And I said that to my colleagues when we were debating over the various choices. And so, to me, he was a natural choice. I mean, just by the response that we had here today, I think you all know Dave and you all appreciate his efforts on behalf of the city and the residents. So I have no doubt that he'll easily make the leap from his office into Homer's office and over to the new city hall in about 3 years from now. So I look forward to good things coming from Dave. Thank you.
Councilman Daigle?
Sure. Thank you. Congratulations, Dave. And city manager jobs used to be really plum jobs, but I think in today's environment they're very demanding jobs. And so we look forward to having you serve in this new role. And the City Council and particularly the subcommittee, and I wanted to thank them for their time and energy and effort and thought that they put into all of the objectives and the qualifications for the city manager. And the council adopted those materials, and they're part of our resolution today, our objectives. And so if you wanted to gain insight as to where the council sees that our city needs to go, they would all be within those materials. Being a council member isn't really such a plum job sometimes either. And I have to say that working with Dave has been extraordinarily positive and productive. And there's been some things accomplished for this community that were at one time considered unattainable. So I want to thank him for all of his energy and to make those things happen. So thank you. And I look forward to working with you.
Councilman Gardner?
We have the water quality programs we have today because of Dave, frankly. It's just as simple as that. And his leadership has been extraordinary. But that's really nothing. What we now have is probably the most physically fit city manager in the state.
Okay, I'm going to open this up to any comments from the public. Anybody want to step forward and address the council on this item? Okay, it seems like everyone's happy with the decision then. I'll close that. Mr. City Attorney, would you advise us as to the exact action we need to take here?
Yes. Presently before you, Mr. Mayor, is the appointment of David Kiff as the new city manager, the approval of the city manager employment agreement, and adoption of Resolution 209-61, confirming your action and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement.
Okay. Is there a motion to that effect?
Mr. Mayor, I would authorize I would move the approval of Resolution 209-61 and that we name David Kiff city manager and approve the employment agreement presented to us.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, please vote.
Motion unanimously carries.
Okay. Dave, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members. And I would like to say a few words. I usually don't write out what I'm going to say, but this one was one that I really wanted to say properly. And one of the hardest things about this was in the recent days was keeping this secret, because I really kept trying to wipe this big smile off my face because I'm really honored and humbled by your decision. And I don't know how many people know this, but in a recruitment for a job here in Newport Beach in 1996 as assistant to the city manager, I came in second. And it was a really tough blow for me. And despite several long bike rides, I couldn't really get it out of my system. I couldn't get Newport Beach out of my system. And I had gotten really caught up and excited thinking about working here for this community and this organization. And then in 1998, with a twist of good fate, I did come to work here in that same position to which I came in second. And since that time, I've worked hard at whatever came my way. I've been taught by some really great city managers, most recently my friend and boss, Homer. Homer listens, he delegates, he's approachable, and as importantly, he has this infectious optimism. The organization knows it, as does the community. And fortunately for all of us, Homer will still be here as a resident and a volunteer and probably a caller about trash pickups and being a resource to me if I ask, even if he decides not to open the paper to see what I'm dealing with, because I could understand that temptation too. But when Homer came here, it was a special time for the city. We had a lot to do and good resources with which to do it. We annexed Newport Coast, Santa Ana Heights, Bonita Canyon, Bay Knolls. We extended protections at John Wayne. We dredged, or getting to dredge, the Upper Bay. Built a fire station, a science center, a branch library, parks, and a community center. We attracted great new resources, and we kept city services top-notch. 2009 is a special time, too, but a different time. We have just as much to do, but the economic imperative is that we rethink and re-engineer and reconsider what we do, how we do it, and if we do it. And thanks to you and to Homer, we're a strong organization. But to stay strong, we need to continuously improve, even in tough times. I know you didn't pick me because you wanted to rest on our success. You picked me in part because said I could bring improvement, including when that means change. I told you that I could do it better than someone from the outside because I've been here. I know it inside and out. This is an excellent organization. The folks in this room have every reason to be proud, which is why we have every reason to want to keep doing things better. I want to be a person of few words, so keep me away from a PowerPoint and I can do that. So stay tuned on all of that. In the meantime, again, I'm so honored to have been selected. I'm excited to lead this proud, hardworking city government. And just like 13 years ago, I clearly still have Newport Beach in my system, and that condition may be irreversible. So thank you very much.
I was the one that had the pleasure of telling Dave had been selected, and I saw that grin on his face, and I wondered how he was going to keep his composure, because we told him they had to keep it quiet till we did a few things. Took a little longer than we wanted, but you did a good job, Dave. Okay, are there any other action items on our agenda today?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, anything that you would like to say, Mr. McDowell?
Well, I wasn't involved in the interviews. I mean, I was tangentially, but, I think Dave came to the interviews with an advantage and a disadvantage. And the advantage was that he does know the organization, he does know the community, he knows the issues. The disadvantage is that he has worked for the city for the last 11 years. He's made a lot of contacts in the community. He's worked with the city council, previous city councils. He's had a lot of opportunities to fail. And he is known intimately compared to how the council knew the rest of the candidates. So I know that you went through a good process. I know everything that you said about it wasn't Dave's job. Hand it to him. He needed to earn it. I have no doubts that he will be an outstanding city manager from the first day on to the years to come. And as young as he is, hopefully that will be many years. If he has it in his blood, and he does, that blood will be pumping very hard for Newport Beach for the years to come. So I salute Dave and all of the good work that he's done in my association with him. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, there being no further business, we'll adjourn, and I believe we're going to adjourn over to the cannery.